Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Gareth. Nice to see you.
And you, sir. So here we are at Atlantic Trampolines. Jonathan, first question. In a nutshell, can you describe exactly what Atlantic Trampolines is?
Atlantic Trampolines are a trampoline retailer, independent trampoline retailer, based in Pembrokeshire. We supply all sorts of round trampolines for the domestic market. We've been in this building since about March of this year. Prior to that, we were based in Pembroke Port, just down the road, but we outgrew the premises, so we had the building here available anyway, moved up the road.
So how long has the actual business been going?
Well, Atlantic Industries Limited is a separate limited company. That's been going for around about 7 or 8 years. It started off in cold storage, and that's what this building that we're currently occupying was involved with. It started off as a maturation store for cheese, but we consolidated all of our product from this building into the one in Pembroke Port. So we've now got about 8,000 tonnes of cheese sitting maturing on shelves over there, and this building became redundant for us, and I occupied the building then in March of this year.
So I said at the beginning that you're one of the directors. How many directors do you have here at Atlantic Trampolines?
3 with us, and here there's myself, Jonathan Edwards. We have Andrew Jardine and David Roberts as directors.
Have they all been on board since the beginning?
All of us, totally. Right from the onset, right from the very first trampoline coming through the door up until the present day. Not so much involved in the day-to-day running of the business here now, anyway, involved in the product going out, etc. But when we do trampoline shows around the country, then heavily involved.
So who came up with the idea for the trampolines then? Because it seems a bit of a leap, a bit of a jump, shall we say, from cheese to trampolines.
Well, it certainly is. But a couple of years ago, we had an idea. We had a little bit of space available in the store. We had labour available to do work in the afternoons, etc. We wanted to boost up our marketing skills. So we decided we'd bring in a product from abroad. We looked around to try and find a product that, first of all, is not hard to understand, something that hasn't got mechanics, no moving parts, no electronics, and trampolines sort of fitted the bill. We could cope with a heavy product coming in and out of the building, something that not everywhere can display very easily. So, yeah, that's why we came up with trampolines.
So talk a bit about that product then. I mean, to me a trampoline, unfortunately, is a trampoline. But I mean, how many different types are there? There must be loads.
Oh, there's absolutely huge amounts. There's rectangular ones, round ones, octagonal ones that you can get as well. But we purely concentrate on the domestic market trampoline, which is a round trampoline.
Now, we're actually going to go into the warehouse in just a few moments' time. But before we do, let's talk a bit about the future of Atlantic. Where do you hope it's going?
The first year of our sales, we did around about 200 trampolines. Second year, last year, we did around about 1,000. This year we're on target for doing between 6,000 and 10,000 trampolines. Next year we have a target for around about 30,000. We think that's very achievable. The UK market is estimated around about 500,000 trampolines sold every year. So we only want a small proportion of that, but we're setting our targets high.
So is there room for growth in this market?
Oh, definitely. The independent trampoline retailers such as ourselves, who offer an installation service, offer direct support to the potential customer looking for advice, etc. This is where we feel there's a market in the country, and we offer nationwide service, so the world's our oyster.
Jonathan, I have to say, it sounds like you've got a great job. Do you get to test your own merchandise?
All the time. From the size of me, it doesn't look as though I do very much, but yeah, we all the time anyway. My children, they absolutely love the product as well. Funny enough, though, I haven't actually got one in my own garden yet, which is something my children keep hassling me for. So within long, anyway, it'll be one in my garden anyway.
Well, Jonathan, we've come to the end of part 1 of the At Work Network for today here at Atlantic Trampolines on London Road, just next to the London Road Mall here in Pembroke Dock. Now, all we need to end this part is your very first song choice. So, what's it going to be?
Well, this one's for Mark in our sales team. We're trying to keep all the songs we choose today along the trampolining theme, so this one's Van Halen and Jump.
Well, Jonathan, here we are now actually in the warehouse section of the business. Now, we've just come through the offices there into what is an absolutely massive, spacious area. How much square footage do you have here?
We have 70,000 feet in total. The chamber that you're in now is around about the 30,000 square feet mark, but absolutely enormous. Plenty of room for us to store the product and put them out on display, because a trampoline is a big product and once you make it up.
So do you know anything about the history of this place? I mean, what was it used for initially?
Initially, I think it was used as a roller skating factory. During the port, when the port was a busy port itself with regards to fruit and veg coming in, there were potatoes, grapefruits, oranges, apples, etc. in here. And then latterly, which is part of what Atlantic Industries is involved in, is the cheese storage as a maturation store. So yeah, we had 4,000 tonnes of cheese product in the building here itself.
So, Jonathan, as I said, we're here at one end of the storage area. Now, directly in front of us, we have the trampolines, which we'll come to in just a minute. But to the right, I can see hundreds and hundreds of boxes. So what are those?
We hold huge stocks of the trampoline here. What we don't want to do is get to a period of the summer, if we do get any fine weather, where most people are looking for products for the garden. We don't want to be in an out-of-stock situation then. So we buy in massive stocks so that we've got around about 1,000 products sitting here on the shelf at any one time.
So let's get to the trampolines, the fun bit. Here they are. We're actually going to walk over to them now. So Jonathan, here we are in amongst the trampolines. Now just tell me exactly what we're looking at here. How many trampolines have we got, and what's so different about them?
4 of them that you see have got safety enclosures on the top of them, but the other 4 have got trampoline tents, which is a product that not many people have seen, but great fun. Absolutely great fun.
So just describe a trampoline tent. What exactly is that?
It sits directly on top of the trampoline, and it acts as a dome kind of den. It can be used for the small children, used as a play area. The larger children or the older children can use it for sleeping out in, camping out in, because it's all shower-proof on there. It just means that for the weather we've been having over the last couple of months, then with rain constantly, it just means you can still use products out in the garden, keep the kids outside.
I've got to ask, with that over the trampoline, does that restrict your bouncing height?
It can do, yes. Obviously, it depends on the height of the person bouncing. So toddlers and children would still find it great fun bouncing around in it. But for the older ones or the taller ones, then it's mainly aimed as that den or playhouse.
Now, we're looking at the trampolines here with the safety nets around the sides. Now, is that standard nowadays?
Yeah, a few years ago, you'd only find trampolines being sold on their own, but trampolining has gone under a number of bits of bad publicity over the years for accidents, etc., predominantly when safety enclosures weren't used. But now that the safety enclosures are on the top, wherever the child falls against or the adult falls against, whether it's by accident or by bouncing or somersaulting, etc., they're going to fall on something soft and push themselves back into the bouncing part in the middle.
Well, Jonathan, I'm afraid time has beaten us. We've come to the end of part 2 of the At Work Network for today here at Atlantic Trampolines on the London Road. Now, all we need to end this part is your second song choice. So what's that going to be?
Well, my second song choice, again keeping along the trampolining theme, is for Glenn, our installation team. Glenn loves his music. A lot of people that drink around Tenby will know him from the Three Mariners, because Glenn's a doorman up there. So he's literally bouncing in the daytime and bouncing at night. So this one's for Glenn, and the choice is Rolling Stones and Jumping Jack Flash.
And let's not forget, of course, trampolining is enormous fun, but it also is tremendous exercise as well, isn't it?
Absolutely superb anyway. So we do get a lot of adults predominantly buying the trampoline for their children for the fun side of it. We also got the adults using it for themselves. It's great cardiovascular workout. It's a great fun, entertaining aerobic workout. And they do say that 10 minutes trampolining is the equivalent of 40 minutes jogging, and once you've been on it for a while, you can see why.
So here we are in amongst all the trampolines here. Will there ever be a time when you'll get more trampolines out in here, more stock, do you think?
Yes, I mean, next year, with the target being around about 30,000 trampolines for sale within the UK, then our stock levels will be even higher. Plus also we might strategically buy at certain quiet times of the year for our manufacturer and build up the stock so that come the good months, then they're ready.
Can you try before you buy?
By all means. Help yourself, Gareth.
Now, without putting too fine a point on it, Jonathan, is there a weight limit?
All of our trampolines, whether it's the 8-foot or the 14-foot, they all take 16 stones or 100 kilos, so they take most adults as well as children. And all the trampolines come with a 5-year warranty on all the metalwork and a full 12 months on all the soft items on there, so it's a great, sturdy, fun product.
I'm gutted, that counts me out.
Terrible, myself too.
Now, Jonathan, obviously it seems that you're very, very busy here. We have mentioned, obviously, there are 2 other people that work with you, but we haven't really talked about them. So talk about your comrades here. What are they like?
Well, since March then, we had Mark and Glenn that have joined us. Mark's from Manabia. He looks after all the telephone sales with ourselves, the internet sales, and anybody coming in to show them around the products themselves, he'll introduce them to the product. And we also have Glenn. Glenn looks after the stock, he looks after all the order picking, and he's our installation team. Glenn is the Pembrokeshire installation team, so he's out and about today anyway, so unfortunately not here, actually putting them up today for another couple of happy customers.
So Mark is the friendly face of the company. He's the first guy you see as you come through the door, isn't he?
That's it, just on the left as you come on through, smiling face.
Well, Jonathan, I'm afraid time really has beaten us. We've come to the end of the At Work Network for today here at Atlantic Trampolines. Thank you so much for showing me around. Now, all we need to end this part, and indeed the feature, is your third and final song choice. So what's it going to be this time? Well,
this one's for myself anyway, for 2 reasons. Again, keeping along the trampoline theme, but I also saw them at Oakwood a couple of weeks ago. Really enjoyed them. My wife and I went along, and it's Girls Aloud with their version of Jump.